Hello everybody, my name is Siler Twinkletoes. I'm still getting used to that name for myself. And today we have a 4-hour game that I got myself thrown into, and I ended up begging for help on Reddit and other people. I even went into Grubby's Discord server in the Warcraft 3 section of it, asking people for help in the middle of this. Somebody from Reddit even said that I should post this on YouTube. I'm going to take that advice, and quite frankly, this game was very silly in general. So, it is a human versus undead. We have Jack's pot in the top left side, and we have myself in the top right side. I'm playing undead. Now, I'm not an expert in Warcraft. This is about like 4.9-ish K, like just shy of 5K MMR. So, technically, I don't know the skill differential, but it's obviously not the lowest bracket in the pool. So, my build orders are going to be very sloppy, but in general, I have an idea about how to play an RTS. I have a very strong history in StarCraft 2, where I'm Diamond 2 as Zerg, and I also am about a D and a low C in StarCraft Brood War. None of that is going to help me in this particular game, mostly because I don't have the proper understanding about how Warcraft 3 formula works. The hero concept is very hard and obviously not normal for StarCraft players. It's just not the same. But quite frankly, we're going to take it from my perspective, and I want people to hopefully you guys can understand from what I'm going to be seeing about why this is such a silly game for me. I know I have the basic opening of Crypt Fiend into Tomb Relic or Graveyard, etc. You know, because I go for a 3 Fiend opening with DK. It's what I personally started with. I had a good time starting playing with Pit Lords, but I hadn't played in some time, so I figured this is going to be the best bet for me. And so right now, everything's going normal. I think I'm slightly late on my second Ziggurat, but I'm going to be able to at least creep for a while. And I know I'm probably, if I recall this game correctly, I take a more Zerg approach where I want like extra resources, extra economy, and make sure I have more money. Though that is incredibly risky. I don't know what's the skill differential for human undead matchups where, you know, who's the aggressor and who's the defender in Brood War. Zerg versus Protoss. The Zerg is often historically the defender, and it's Protoss' job to beat down the Zerg and not let them expand. And Zerg ends up expanding as much as they can. But that's not the case here. So I get my DK. I'm pretty late on my. Oh wow, yeah, I'm actually very late on my Rod of Necromancy. But I know I can easily just start creeping as well, and have my fiends catch up later on. Oh, I'm starting to remember this now. So I wanted the faster expansion, which is, again, I know it's possible. It's just, this is, like I said, this is an incredibly risky strategy, and probably very, very bad at, like, you know, 7, 9, anything above 5k MMR. But I figured I might as well be a greedy son of a bitch. And so, honestly, I think I could have done a lot of this better. Like, for example, I could have also brought my acolyte over as well. You know, just to also get the towers up, get the gold mine as soon as possible. And especially since I don't know what my opponent is opened with. Like, I just realized how much of a mistake this is. Like, this is so risky. I lost, I think, all of mine. Yeah, I lost all but one ghoul. Like, this is not a great opening out of me at all. I do get the Talisman of Evasion. I think that actually pays itself back quite well as the game goes on, just because it's 15%, you know? I'm sure everybody understands that at this point with how old this game is. And so currently right now as well, he's also taken the same idea. I do know human is an aggressive race where they want to get away with as much as possible. So I figured I might as well go over and say hello, try to figure out what is he up to. I don't think it was a random game, but I can't recall, as you know, you guys can tell. But I actually think that this is a bit of a mistake out of me. Because I'm taking a lot of damage and I'm losing resources like crazy. Yeah, I'm not too happy with that, looking back at this. Even killing his summon is not really that much, I don't think. I could be very wrong. I would love to hear what the Warcraft community has about that. But as you see here, even though he's slightly ahead, it's going to, I think it pays itself back equally as well. Since we're both on the same, well, I'm going to catch up on my financial hardship. So yeah, I notice I'm actually, because of my lack of wood as well, I'm unable to tech up. But at the same time, it's this game is just not normal in general. I mean, the game's gonna last 4 hours, so we have some time. And I'm gonna skip through, especially the parts where it starts to get a little bit more stale, simply because I would like to live my life a little bit more than another 4 hours out the window. And so this is what I was talking about. You know, I could have done this, you know, when we were taking the grounds, just to make it make everything way more efficient and safer too, probably. But yeah, so now honestly we're just playing a waiting game about what's going to be happening. If I recall correctly, I should be teching soon. I really should be teching like now, like yesterday almost. But while that's going on, I'm simply just trying to figure out what to do next. I know I need to creep, but I don't know what's the best route, especially since I'm taking this more, again, aggressive route where I can't actually tech because I decided to take this super risky build, even though I could be getting a lot more potential value with 2 heroes out on the field right now. But again, I'm playing with a completely different philosophy at this point. You know, I'm playing checkers, and this is chess in itself. So I want to see what's going on with our buddy over here.
Player's forces are under attack.
So he's also creeping as well. I think he's actually ahead of me. Oh no, yeah, he's a little bit ahead, but so he sees that I had expanded, and so he's pushing out. I'm not 100% sure what's human's objective as well in this particular instance. I think this is just a bad idea in general. As you see, he's taken 2 shots. Soon have been, oh no, three tower shots now. Yeah, he can't fight this at all. So I'm very lucky here, and he's actually now taking an insane amount of damage. So this is actually fantastic for myself, and I think that doesn't die. Holy cow! Up there it is. There's the spider. So yeah, that trade turns out to be pretty perfect for us, especially, you know, no denial. He now realizes he's on equal footing, and that's never good for human, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this is probably the best case scenario for us, or for the time being. And it just lets me creep out even more. I'm actually really happy with this now. I don't know the best course of action, but this is this is something that I think people in the community wanted to see, and I would love to hear what their feedback on how they would have played this differently. I do play a lot of StarCraft games primarily on Twitch TV, Siler Twinkletoes. If you guys wanted to come by and check it out and support, share your support or your thoughts about this game. But yeah, so while that's going on, I think we're not quite yet, but I am gonna speed up the game ever so slightly, just a little bit for now, because there is a lot to unpack here. And this is probably, again, where I need to ask about the community's thoughts, because in StarCraft Brood War, the current problem with the quote-unquote Smurf problems is there's a point where the game is just so one-sided that a player will tell the other opponent to get out, because you literally cannot win. Like, the opponent is not going to win, or, you know, you're not going to win, and they're intentionally just wasting time. I end up doing that here, but I don't know if that's the same approach that Warcraft has in general. As somebody was explaining to me, like, a true stalemate in Warcraft is not really possible. But in StarCraft 2, there are scenarios that you are just so far ahead in that you don't need to attack, and your opponent cannot recognize that, so they end up staying far longer than any reasonable person should if they had the proper information. As you see here, I'm getting Temple of the Dam and my Slaughterhouse. I sent out my thing to see what he's up to. I see that he purchased the mercenaries. So I'm not 100% sure what that's entailing. I do know that those guys take magic damage very well, or they don't take magic damage very well. So I know that I can get away with more. I can get away with like banshees, necromancers, etc. But I have a level 4 blood. I have a level 4 DK. I'm so happy with this. You know, getting my statues. You know, this is like, you know, the greatest feeling I can be. I feel like I'm in a great spot. I think he's also in a good spot too. Yeah, so he's expanding to his 3rd base. I didn't have that knowledge, but I think it's a reasonable assumption about what's going on. Or, you know, I haven't seen him on the map, so he might just be hiding himself. I don't have that information yet. We'll get to that again when it gets there. But now I'm at the point where I need to start scaling my Lich. I did the 3-hero Undead 3 heroes of, you know, DK Lich into Dreadlord, simply because I hadn't played in so long, and I don't think I can pull off a Pit Lord DK in time. But as you see here, we got this fantastic engagement out of me. I'm getting a lot of damage. I actually see he's chosen Alchemist. I don't know much about the Alchemist. I do learn quite a bit in this particular game, but I got 116 XP off that fight. That actually leveled up my Lich quite a bit, almost 1.5 levels. So that's again fantastic. I got a level 5 DK, so now nothing is going to die in the short term. As that was going on, I decided to do a Zeppelin harassment. I don't know what I was thinking here. This is a really dumb idea, but it's kind of like, I guess it's like the crappy version of doing a storm drop in StarCraft with High Templars in a very very poor manner. My Black Citadel is complete. I'm eventually going to purchase a Dreadlord just because I would like to sleep, and I know I'm going to need to use those on key units, or, you know, really just to get people off my tail. I think this is a huge blunder, actually, giving up the meat wagon like that for quite literally nothing. Potion of Divinity. That must be from the. I'm going to assume that's from his very difficult game. So, yeah. And as I know, I don't have much of an idea of what he's up to. I think this is the part where I should look to expand more myself, like considering a third base or getting like some of the red camps. This is such a mistake out of me. Just sticking around, letting him stick around eating one camp there. Obviously that hurts quite a bit. So I see. So now I'm kind of looking to force to engage. I don't know again what's the proper strategy for me. I do see that Chemical Rage really provides quite a lot for him. He purchases his Tinker. Oh, I actually killed his. Oh, that's so important that I killed his Alchemist and he had to TP out. I didn't even see that at the time. Holy cow, that's so much XP. Oh yeah, that's actually so important. But yeah, I still don't have any idea of what his income is like. Honestly, at this current moment, I know I wasn't even thinking about the corner camps, just because it's like I don't know how soon you can really grab those. I thought the harder camps are quite difficult at times, especially on certain maps where you have to fight like some of the units that deal like chaos damage and are immune to spells, like, you know, the giant golems, things that like make your life a literal hell. But yeah, so this is a unique scenario, a unique problem for me. I do fortunately finally got my level 3 Lich. He got quite accelerated off some of those kills. I'm wondering if I should have added like necros into my necromancers into my for the unholy speed boost that it gives, or the attack speed steroid that it gives, and give it to the Lich, or even teching up for cripple to apply to the alchemist. Actually, I think the cripple would be fantastic now that I think about it. But again, like this is the stuff I said, like, you know, you just don't have the knowledge of it or experience of it. So yeah. I do know that I'm going to be wanting to use sleep quite a bit here in this game, simply just to keep their spellcasters on the human side, you know, debilitated or quite literally asleep. But yeah, so at this point, I'm actually pretty happy with myself in most regards, like looking back at it. And just to show what our buddy is up to, he's expanding as well, but he's also it's kind of building his own little forest of towers, of guard towers. And this is you can see where this game is going. He's very much playing the not to win, but just to torture your opponent, which is an actual problem in StarCraft 1 right now, where players are intentionally just gonna win the game by being more experienced and know how to not lose than to end the game. So we do manage to get the cancel on him, on his on the main island, or the main arena, but I don't have knowledge about his future expansion in the bottom left corner of the map. It's actually going to become such a problem because, you know, four houses of income is, you know, gives him more resources to not die off. And this is again the part where I'm not sure if I should just look to fight at this point, or if I need to look for a fight, or if I just need to swallow the map. If I was playing a StarCraft game, I would just look to expand as much as I can, hit 200 supply, and go fight. Warcraft doesn't work like that. It's definitely not the same. It's not 100% the same. So yeah, it's, as you see, I immediately put the alchemist to sleep. I do my best. Obviously, I clearly had to have gotten knowledge on his griffs. I managed to take out. Oh, I don't take out the Tinker, or I don't take out the Tinker. That's okay, but he's out of the fight. I send one guy just to chase, and I'm really just taking out as much as I can. My my DK is taking quite a bit of damage, but I'm still getting a lot of value out of him. I did lose my my Dreadlord. Managed to get his divinity popped, which is unfortunate, but it does mean that he doesn't have immortality later on. And this is a pretty good fight for me. I would assume my Lich is about to hit, you know, level 5, which is great because, you know, Death and Decay is an insane ability. So yeah, in general, this is yeah, never mind. I hit 5. That's actually fantastic for what that fight was. Yeah. Oh, that's even better. I didn't even know that he actually blew an insane amount of money to buy his level 1 back. It is a level 1, but it's, you know, that's more money that he's not having. I'm very happy with that. And so now we're back to this slow game of breaking a pretty much used up base.
Our gold mine has collapsed.
But I just didn't expand, and that's obviously a very big problem I should have dealt with earlier. I think at the same time I was just a little I don't know if overwhelmed is the right phrase, but yeah, it basically is. And I do this really big mistake where I'm targeting the center, where I could have just targeted one or the other and just slowly grind my way in faster and secure 2,000 gold, you know, much sooner. But you know, that's a lesson learned now than later on. But it looks like he wants to also stop this as well. Oh, there we go. I actually corrected the problem. All right. So this is actually pretty good on me. I do make a great use of the Banshees, I noticed. So the rank 2 with the curse does actually do quite a lot. Gives a lot of value. As you see, he's immediately retreating. He lost his Griffin Rider. He's actually taken an insane amount of damage on the remaining value of his army. Now he's on a bit of a clock where, you know, I'm cracking his town hall center, his town hall down. I'm looking for easy targets. You know, his alchemist doesn't have. His alchemist is not level 6, so I'm going to learn exactly what that does later on. But you know, he now has to make the contingency if he wants to fight or break out, etc. I do manage to decide to take this lower base from him. I don't know why exactly. I think it's actually a bit silly of me to take such an aggressive location. And so now he's going after my meat wagon to stop it. That's actually pretty smart out of him. I actually like that decision out of him. It takes away my siege potential. And I really don't punish him that much for it. And I'm kind of playing a little bit of a topsy-turvy maneuver where I can't really push in. And he can, as you see here, he's just going to repair me. Because, you know, building fortification is just so good. But yeah, this is obviously the part where I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking for to survive in general with these types of games, or how do I look to punch them out. And I take this really silly fight where I'm taking all this damage from all these towers, and then my spellcasters are not exactly targeting the right units. They should be targeting the Berserker and the Griff Riders. I don't have any adequate units to take out the spell breakers, so I do get punished very seriously here. And yeah, this is actually a huge amount of gold just lost on my end. So very upsetting out of me. I think I got a little too impatient. Instead of just walking away saying, you know, this is not going to be it right now, I can just come back and circumventilate this problem. In the meantime, I still have you know, 7K in the bank. So, you know, money isn't an issue. It's a matter of I don't know what to do. That's the issue itself. I do have a Staff of Silence, which is really good. I don't understand it 100% because, and I'm not sure if it's because of you know, you can still if let's say you use like a potion of invulnerability, it, you know, cancels out your, you know, being silenced, because it's going to become an issue later on where I'm going to get like, I think it's called Midas Touch, or, you know, where Alchemist turns my units into literal gold. So that's going to be very frustrating for me to deal with. And I figured Staff of Silence would, you know, beat Alchemist's ability, especially for 12 seconds as it gives. And so now, as you see here, I'm just, you know, I'm looking to gather more resources to get more money to have more problems, as always. But yeah, my DK is pretty decked out at this point in terms of the levels. I now need to just fight with him. But I do also have I do have a Dreadlord that's just gonna keep putting people to sleep, which is, you know, very nice. Sleeping enemies is a happy enemy, in my opinion. So yeah, I was kind of going through this pickle where I just didn't know what I needed. So as you see, I'm buying some abominations because I figured I need to take out his leather armor units, or the units that are the spellbreakers. Who, if I'm not mistaken, the spellbreakers, they deal physical damage, but they also have medium armor, or the leather armor, where they take reduced damage from magic and what's it called. So yeah, that my position is I need to take those out. And so as I see here, I finally see what's up. I see that he's in StarCraft, we would call this cannoning it up, especially as when Protoss players are going for like mass carriers. So there's a lot of frustration going on through my head as my StarCraft 2 instincts are kicking in. But I did find out that his farm, which I didn't know you can use it for goblin laboratories. That's a fun little fact to learn. and not frustrating at all when you discover it. But yeah, so as you see here, but yeah, these is what I was thinking of. Like, you know, they take extra damage from normal attacks, so, you know, the ghouls, although I don't think they're that good, I'm probably wrong about that, but, you know, ghouls, abominations, and, oh yeah, I guess necromancing, like the raised dead one, would work too. But yeah, so this is.
Players' forces are under attack.
So yeah, he's looking to expand again, and I'm simply looking to figure out what to do. I don't know what to do exactly. I'm wondering if I should have gone after his economy line, even though it's like at a point in the game where it's not as important. Like, you can replace these very quickly. Let me see what he has. But even still, if you take out like 10 workers or so, that's a lot. That's like almost unacceptable, especially if you're receiving all of that. But I make a huge mistake here where I'm like going into all of these towers. Like, again, these are like just like such little mistakes that like I would make less in StarCraft. But at the same time, I'm trying to figure out the problem at hand with different game philosophy. So yeah, that's the actual problem at hand. But yeah, I have two high level heroes, so I'm very happy. More importantly, I don't know how important a level 6 DK is versus like a level 6 Lich. I think the Lich would probably be worth more because you get Death and Decay, which is like 4% of their max HP in the AoE, like per unit in the AoE. Where this is more of a... Oh, what a catch, actually. Holy cow, that could have been difficult. It's actually a worker transfer, so that's actually really important. Yeah, if he loses those workers, that would be crippling. Holy cow. Oh, that's so lame. He didn't kill it, but it's... Oh, that would have been painful to lose. Holy cow. Oh, how did I not see it? No. Oh, I'm kicking myself in the ass right now. But yeah, so as you see here, I just like, let me just clean this up, which really is, this is useless. This is like a useless location, although it eventually I'll be able to stage more invasions, I guess you would call it. It's just, like I said, this is the part of the game where I just don't know what my problem is, or how do I solve the predicament that I got myself thrown into. Because as you see here, he's kind of just looking to build a house, or to build a very well fortified stack of house of cards. So yeah, I'm just looking to figure out where am I gonna throw the brick, and how many times do I need to throw a brick. I'm gonna have like over 10 grand in the bank. I can throw a lot of bricks at my opponent, but it's not gonna be enough to, you know, break it. Yeah, it even gets to the point where I start thinking I'm gonna need, like, you know, Weaverns or Wyverns, Syndragosas. That's just spoiler alert. That's not gonna be useful against these. Syndragosa takes a lot of damage to towers that deal projectile piercing damage. And then I discovered that he has some Night Riders, and I have absolutely nothing to catch except one Crypt Fiend, because I'm an idiot, apparently. But yeah, so he has his sorcerers. It's just such a weird game, man. It's just such a weird game. And the worst part is, he knows exactly that all he has to do is not attack, and he can theoretically slowly climb back in. I'm just dumb enough to not know how to close the game out. And I get this wacky game. But yeah, so now we have the slow siege of a slow siege of Moscow, I guess you would call it. And I don't know. This is where I didn't start begging for help on Reddit and Discord, but I was kind of getting frustrated. I remember thinking to myself, this guy is such an ass for he is such an ass for this less than honorable gameplay. I do manage to get a massive pick on him, and I do force a lesser invulnerability, so that's like what, 5 seconds of immortality or so. Yeah. So that's pretty good. That's actually quite valuable the more I think about it. And I do this really silly play where I'm like, all right, raise the dead, full unholy death knight from Wrath of the Lich King. Absolute mistake. I regret my actions looking at this even more because they don't cast the web. DK is gonna die. Yeah, DK dies. I don't even pop my Staff of Silence. My Dreadlord goes down. I do have my Death and Decay casting Lich, so there is some value going on, but it's just such a silly, pretty bad attack overall in general. Especially that the Death and Decay is not hitting the enemy forces and it's only hitting towers. So not my best use of it, but we do manage to take the fight in a almost Pyrrhic manner. Since we're not really getting much, I still have my meat wagon up, so that push is always going to be a possibility at a very limited cost. So, not my most glamorous moment. So I don't understand. What is the Potion of Divinity? Where do you buy this? Or, I guess he popped it apparently. It has to be from the. It has to be from the hard camps, right? Oh my gosh, he's overpopulating his gold mine. It's so much going on to talk about. I don't know what's like the focus on. The fact that he's throwing in a dragon hawk rider like that, or if or the fact that he has so much silliness going on. Now he has his mass teleportation if he decides to take that. I think it's the level 6 ultimate on the Archmage. But yeah, this whole game just turns from Bad News Bear to Bad News Billy. And he actually has quite a lot of. He has 2,000 gold. That's actually not that much. I thought it was a lot more. Versus my 10,000, nearly 10,000 gold. Yeah. I'm not stressing, but I'm not happy, if that makes sense. But his main base is cleaned up. But that's not really going to be much use. I still have this nightmare to deal with, and yeah, he's rebuilding his tech since he has to reclimb, I guess, or reclimb the entire tech ladder. So and this is where I begin to ask if the game's over. Like, is he assessing the situation, or if he's just bad mannering me and I'm just too stupid to realize it? Because at the same time, I also was starting to think that I was in a losing position. And as he tells me, it's just started. Oh God, he was right. And the sad part is, he is right. We are just warming up. The game, we're not even a quarter of the way through. And so yeah, as you can see, he's completely trolling me, asking me to stay with the game with him. So this is, without a doubt, his intentions of just causing as much emotional damage as possible. And I think it's partially because I BMGG'd him. Although at the same time, I think he was just looking to do this from the start. And so I'm currently trying to figure out what it is that he has. I see he has an absolutely obnoxious base that I now have to figure out what am I going to do. I do get a high upkeep. I'm not sure if I shouldn't have, just because I still have quite a lot of gold to harvest, but I am researching wyverns or dragons from my boneyard. Like I said, this is the part of the game where I just don't know what to do. More importantly, and it's probably going to cost me more, especially as with the time of the game, is I just don't know how many bases he has. Like, does he have all 4 corners? Does he have two hidden bases that I'm just not aware of? The map says I don't know. So yeah, I think I do think the frost worms are a huge mistake. I did not need them at all. They die way too quickly to pierce damage, and they're not to get the what's it called off, where they freeze the buildings. This is too much. This is like I thought it would need to be like a splash damage effect, not just a single target. So yeah, this is me trying to assess about how nightmare, how much of a nightmare this is. And finally got my level 3 Dreadlord. He's gonna die. So are my dragons. Yep, this is a game. This is a very bad game. Yeah, you know, bringing spellcasters to a fight like that, brilliant idea out of me. I do manage to raise the dead. Dragon comes in. Everything is just dying on my end, but there's so much going wrong. I do manage to kill his alchemist again, which is actually really important. The alchemist is just, I've learned, the alchemist is a really strong unit. But, you know, it's only so much that I can do with this currently. Yeah, this is actually pretty bad out of me. I do think I taxed him a lot, if that makes sense. Like, if you see here, he has to now repair all these, or they're going to take substantial damage, or, you know, be taken out entirely. Probably wrong. But I do think the double boneyard was just a big blunder in general. Yeah, that's definitely... I also decide to, apparently I don't need to research my, I don't need to research my, my heroes instantly as they come available, because I'm that smooth of a brain. But this game is obviously just getting started. You know, we still have, you know, 3 more hours to go. So here I am trying to figure out what he's got, and I see that he took another base. And so I now know where I'm going to attack. I immediately send, you know, these guys over. I get a forced teleport out, and I actually think that's really important. Because now I get everything else. I see his Tinker is pulled out of position. I do have a level 8 Lich. He dies, but he is level 8. That is just so stupid. Like, he is so strong. But, you know, 2 heroes does help quite a bit. And now we're at the point where I constantly just have to figure out how am I going to kill more, stop units from getting in. I do manage to stop him gathering more resources. Wow. Alright. Got a invincibility off. I do kill this Tinker, I think, right? I think I killed his Tinker. Yeah, we killed this Tinker too. That's fantastic. It's huge, actually. So yeah, we're at such a point where the game is he's sitting back and just trying to collect as much gold and physical harm that he can apply to me. Like, that's very clear what he's trying to do. Just cause actual physical harm to my psyche.
Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, but as you see here, I'm just sending dragons to go over to remove this this relatively farmed out base, while I also am going to be taking more bases back, because I realize I just need to farm up, or, you know, gold up. You know, this game is just so out of whack for me. I don't even know how to process a lot of the information at hand. But we are getting to the point of the game where I'm going to speed up, because the game is going to get much slower. So he's saving. Some of the more boring stuff is he's stopping me from, or taxing me really, from taking out his expansions. I realize I need to take the main island. You know, there's only so much I can do. I don't really know what is a proper army in this type of scenario. Like, I have to deal with primarily I primarily have to deal with all of these towers, and that's obviously going to be like, you know, meat wagons. But if it's gonna be meat wagon, like, would meat wagon necromancers be the best play, I guess, is my question? Or would the argument just simply being, like, get a bunch of meat wagons, fill the rest up with, like, crypt fiends, take out the anti-air or the air support? Probably can do all of that with necro wagon. Still doesn't take away the entire problem of you know, a fuck ton of towers. And so as you can see, I'm just constantly forcing teleports off on him, and this is honestly wasting his time, because it's putting him in these positions that he doesn't want to be in. So that's one argument I could have, but it's also pretty slow in general. Like, the execution of it is fine, but the execution is sloppy, but the result is the idea is fantastic. But, you know, I could have two of these little Zeppelin riders, or Zeppelins. But yeah, this is just like the game is just so wacky. I don't really know what is what is, how like how would Happy deal with it, or how would what would what would be going through the the minds of Grubby, etc., or even Warty or Witty. I forgot how to say his name. I'm actually losing my DK pretty quickly. I feel like the DK in the later stages effectively just becomes a more of a healer, like a holy paladin. Once again, we fantastically kill his tech. Tinker decides to catch up on level 4. He's immediately beginning his teleport. We do get the cancel off, which is fantastic, as you see here. I did a bad manner GG, because as he said, the game's just starting. I'm looking to just catch what I can. This game is obviously nowhere near a normal gameplay, so it's very much so a what can I do to just get this game over with? Finally get my Dreadlord level 5. This game is just so out of control. It's a very frustrating, honestly, to deal with in my perspective, because I'm not I don't have the confidence in this to make the dictative decisions. I don't know if that's a bad manner reaction or if that's him just saying like, game's beginning, son. I think it's a bad manner. As you can see, he doesn't want me to leave, which is a very wholesome feeling, but I'm not feeling that same respect for him. Especially if he's playing with like no money. So yeah, this whole game is just a matter of who's more toxic, and I'm starting to think it's him. I just don't know if it's me that started it, or if it's if it's me that started the toxicity, or if it's just him with the idea of, I'm going to make this guy want to quit Warcraft 3. And honestly, this particular game really does not shine well for a continuing of the game. Don't get me wrong, Brood War still has its own very same problem of this exact behavior. But yeah, so this is where, again, I'm just going to speed up until we get to more exciting stuff. And I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I realize I should be taking more of the gold on the map. I don't know why. I just have such a reluctancy of taking my corners, my corner locations. But I eventually am, I'm eventually just trying to see about what it is I need to get my hands on. Because quite frankly, again, this whole game is just going to come down to, oh god, why am I trying to push again? I don't know what it is I'm thinking here. I don't like. There's so much wrong with this. Yeah. All right. So this is the part that I was talking about. He finally gets a level 6 alchemist and starts. For the rest of the game, I'm gonna be very clear. He's just gonna throw golden balls everywhere and turn my stuff into gold. But yeah, so I'm not 100% sure what my theory should have been at this point, because he's so tanky, or he's so turtled up. I effectively just threw away a lot of money. Like, I really threw away an unacceptable amount of money there. And yeah, that just buys him more time, in the sense of that I'm not going to end the game soon. But you can't have that much money, right? Like 2,000 gold. You can, and it's not like in Age of Empires where you can sell your resources off for more gold. Although he does have an alchemist, so fucking flinging golden concoctions is going to be the name of the game. But yeah, this is just such a blunder out of me. And this is where I start to figure out about, like, I just don't know what to do. I know I need stuff to heal. I know there's. I was thinking maybe I need devourers or destroyers. But as you can see here, he has a completely separate agenda on his mind. He's going to be throwing golden balls everywhere. And he's buying teleportation runes, Staff of Teleportation, that's what it is, and Moby Boots. He's trying to see what it is, trying to see what I'm up to. I guess he's trying to see if I was going to make more dragons. And he's just scouting. This is the part where I get so frustrated. Like, you're gonna see in the middle of the game, I'm gonna be very upset. As he gold coins my shredder that I kind of needed. I think I was kind of feeling like I needed one. I just don't know what you're supposed to do here, because I think cripple would have been the answers. I think cripple would have been the answer, just to slow him down, but you know, it's very hard to catch a fast fat boy. But yeah, so it's just such a frustrating game. I think this is the part of the reason why a lot of players in general, and this is more of a problem with the StarCraft games, of why people just hate RTSs, because to close out a game, or the knowledge of the game, is far more impactful than being able to point and click, like what a lot of FPSs. Like the skill, the barrier to entry is always just significantly higher in comparison to FPS games. Because of silliness like this. Like, you'll have players that are more experienced, or I guess you could argue more gifted, not in this case in my opinion, where they just know how to make the game a living hell and make players just not want to play. And I think there needs to be a way of cracking down on that, or at least in a way of discouraging this type of behavior, because this is clearly not smurfing, but it's very much anti new player behavior. So as you see here, I'm just clearing up because I realize I can, like, if I'm going to push, it's going to be here. I don't think as much here because of the room here is far more controlled. And so yeah, he just gold coins me, and it's so obnoxious. I get a sleep and a what's called off. I'm just trying to punch the daylights out of him, but he still escapes because of the staff of teleportation. It's just so good, but at the same time, I'm not recognizing that I could sleep him or staff of silence, because sleep is actually a pretty quick cooldown, I've learned. But yeah, I realized the path forward is by way of the meat wagon. It's just this is part of the game where I'm probably gonna get more frustrated. You're gonna hear me complaining a lot about the problems that RTS games have in general. Is these anti end game behaviors. So, like, you know, so yeah, as you can see here, he's just constantly gonna run in and out, flick a gold coin at me, make me pay him whatever the cost of the unit is, and we're just gonna be back and forth at that. But yeah, as you see here, he just gets the teleportation. He gets tossed into the Zeppelin. And he's just looking for ways to go in. I think there is a point where I just realized the answer is I need shades. But, you know, at the same time, it's like, dude, like this is not fun. Like, this cannot be fun, in my opinion, for the player doing this, because they're only doing this to waste your opponent's time. Like, this is not the behavior for you know, improvement, which I know I might sound like a bit of like an artosis and all, but people play games to win or to feel good about themselves, not to waste other people's time. Wasting other people's time typically is because of the anti-fun behavior. You know, and so he's being sarcastic and telling me how you know, that I should just take the map and to build an army and attack, as opposed to him choosing to not leave the game. Like, he's forcing me to actually kill all of his units, which is very bad manner, at least again from the StarCraft behavior. And I understand that probably makes me a bit of an elitist, or at least a philosophically, I'm more in the sense of players being able to recognize when the game is over. And I think that's genuinely what's going on my end, but at the same time, you are being very, very unfriendly. I don't know how else to explain that, but I think that's probably the best I can. Because, yeah, as you can see here, he is just not going to leave. He's waiting for me to push out and to blow my army out of the to blow my finances out as opposed to recognizing that he cannot technically win the game. Like, I would have to throw very, very hard, and he's doing it through means of toxicity, I almost want to call it. Again, feel free to correct me, and I'm probably being a bit of an elitist in that right. But yeah, as you can see here, he's looking to flick another gold coin as he can. Chemical Rage is out because the movement speed is apparently just so obnoxiously fast. And Staff and TP's out. I don't know why, actually, he does that. He could easily just keep running around, pop the Chem Rage, flick the coin, run away. Unless it silences you. Clearly doesn't with your inventory. But as you can see here, I'm trying to figure out a way of getting back in. This is just such a big blunder. Because this whole game is just going to come down to me having to get him to constantly waste gold through other means by not I am going to have to make him buy units. I'm going to have to make him buy units as opposed to making an attack myself, which is again a very anti-gameplay behavior. And that's actually what's going to happen. I'm now making sacrificial pits so that I can see where he is when he enters, and it's going to get to the point where they're going to be like all over every landing platform. Like, I'm going to be Nazi Germany preparing for Normandy, except I'm the one that's going to be finding out where the landing is. Worst explanation I could give, but that's quite frankly what it's going to be. It's going to be the result of Bay of Pigs with the Undead. So yeah, as you can see here, he's just chem raging and just running away. But yeah, so fantastic. Just fantastic. And the worst part is, I still have money. Game gets paused because I needed to go to the bathroom and I was frustrated and it got to the point where I actually was just figuring out how can I reset my brain for this. Yeah, I have Jesus Christ, over 13,000 gold in the bank, and I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do. So yeah, this is definitely the part of the game where it's gonna get more invisible men production. This is quite frankly a Dark Templar. I am fighting against the Dark Templar that has a golden coin flicker. That is just that's just not fun. This is very anti gameplay behavior, and the sad part is I just lack the patience and I lack the practical game knowledge to address this problem of the golden coin flicker. So yeah. And he gets the gold value of it, and then he can just go invisible in separate locations. So I actually think I take a pretty good fight here. I don't know why my DK is running so far forward. I think it was probably just to catch fire or something, or I probably set it on a specific move command. But again, this is just me blowing my money out of the water and really taxing him for nothing because he can just gold coin me. And I make this really silly mistake where I cast it on the buildings. I don't know why I did that historically in this match. I should be casting it on his backline, or I should be casting it on his what's it called? There's so many ways I could have done this better. I do see what his final army composition looks like of flying machines, the Dragonhawk riders, some mortars, 2 healers. It's just his composition is very clearly not just don't let me push. And he has no money. He knows he cannot push forward, right? He can't leave technically without the invisibility. You're not gonna make all these units invisible. That's just mathematically impossible for him. So yeah. And I still haven't figured out yet that I just need to sit back and play the farming simulator. But God, am I just seething? I know I'm seething in this game. It's just not fun. this whole experience was not a positive feeling. And as you can see, the Dark Templar is back, and he's trying to find a free unit to cast. Picks my dragon off and fucks right out. I totally missed him though. That's the sad part. So that, yeah, as you can see, I'm starting to set up my my vision outposts, my shades. Just trying to figure out about where I need to put things. Where it is I can put things to get him to leave me the hell alone. I don't know if it's gonna hit level 10, but I would be very surprised if it doesn't. So yeah, more gold coins. This is where I'm looking at this more and more, and I realize I really need the cripple from the necromancers. That would just make this so much easier, especially if you catch him like right in the middle of the coin flick, and you just go, cripple, and beat him up, force to teleport out, and silence him, and then get the actual teleportation scroll itself out. As you can see here, I do now get more gold coins going off, and we're back at just oh my god, just the fucking star thing I'm thinking of, the star from Mario, from the Mario series. This is a fantastic Death and Decay I was casting. I managed to get off. It actually hit quite a lot. I'm not sure why I canceled it. I think it probably just got silenced, or I probably moved him in. But again, I lost everything just because this is not a correct move. And I bring a shade for no reason. I realized the shade here is actually really bad because not because of that, I just lost a like 50 gold worth, or whatever the value of a acolyte is, 50 or 75, but also, quite frankly, he just knows I have shades now. Like, if now he's bad mannering me, and not knowing that I still have 9.5 grand in the bank to his 1K now. No, he's definitely bad mannering me. This is very clearly a player that enjoys wasting players' times, which is very, very, very unfortunate, and I really despise these types of behaviors. Even though I was very guilty of being reasonably toxic in the beginning as well. So as you can see, coin boys back in the prow, looking to get more flicks off. I do manage because I do have knowledge now about how he's doing it. I'm trying to figure out about what it is I need to do, and I realize I need to just put shades out everywhere as much as I can. And I'm kind of calling him on his
The player's forces are under attack.
I am calling him out on his that he's just here to waste my time. Yeah, so this is the part of the game where I just don't know what I'm supposed to do at this point. It's very, very frustrating, as you can imagine, especially if he's just gold coining random things.
Upgrade.
Oh, he only has 67. Oh, well, actually, yep, and oh, he doesn't chemical rage. I take that back, but he did gold coin. So yeah, this is. And the sad part is I just haven't figured out that I just need to put a shade down. I just need to put a shade down. I'm fine. In the sense of I will discuss. I'll know exactly where he is. I'll know where he's moving, etc. I see where he is now. Now you can see that I'm following him. I managed to get his chemical rage off. I do lose another destroyer, which is obviously just a big problem in general. I shouldn't be losing those. I don't know where it is, but I should have my my Dreadlord just waiting to put him to sleep. This way I can at least get some get a cancellation on his Staff of TP, potentially force out his teleport scroll. There's so many ways I could have done this better, and it's just, again, a lot of lack of game knowledge, from not playing the game 100 hours. Or, sorry, not even 100 hours, 1,000, 2,000 hours, where you can start thinking of the game theory a lot more crystal clear. Casting Death and Decay randomly, I don't think is helpful as well. but it is getting a lot of damage on the towers, and I know that'll allow me to do more. And I'm simply just, this is where I realize that my Death Knight basically turns into an Unholy Paladin, and I can keep my shades up front now as well. And this is where we're actually getting to the real nitty-gritty of the game, where he's going to try to constantly find spots to land off. I'm gonna get gold coins. He's gonna TP out. And we have this stupid song and dance. I ended up losing a shade. I think that's just from splash damage, and that's just a big blunder out of me, because the shade shouldn't be taking damage like at all. You know, it's a shade. Doesn't do much, so it shouldn't be in harm's way. Kind of just exists. So yeah, as you can see, he's trying to get every gold coin that he can. You know, just so that he can keep himself occupied with his little seething strat. But yeah, so I'm just trying to. Oh, another gold coin. Yeah, boy! Woohoo! Fucking trickle down theories. God, Reagan would be jumping for joy if he could right now. So yeah, he's just constantly. I think he's realizing that he's unable to. Play how he used to, but he still can get more coins off because, you know, fuck you, fuck the undead. Apparently, stealing my ancient artifacts from my grave. Apparently,
Forces are under attack.
so he's just trying to. This is where I'm starting to realize about how I can actually just make this like so much easier. Like, for example, if I could pause the game. But, like, you know, if I put shade, like, you know, shade during the daytime where I can see farther along, I can see the invisibility, I can see where he is, that's eventually what's going to happen. But I can then just keep my units back, only bring the heroes forward to harass and trade with them, force him to walk away, burn mana, burn more of his time. But, again, this is just so much crap that I have to deal with that I don't know how to appropriately go about this. Because it's still level 10. It's still a maxed out alchemist. Like this guy clearly knows what he's doing in the sense of like how to waste your opponent's time. And as you can see here, I still managed to get a lot out of him. I do kill his Zeppelin, but I trade a coin for it. I actually think that's a fair trade. He loses his Zeppelin, so he can't constantly run around and pick fights with me, and now he's stuck, and I give him a unit. It sucks, but it is what it is. But, you know, it costs more out of him. So yeah, he's trying to figure out about where he can go to land, and I'm simply trying to figure out about what can I do to not die. So I'm choosing to expand more. He apparently he gets a flare off. I don't know what the flare range is. I don't know how any of that crap works. But he flips a coin at my stupid shade. I mean, it's very good for him in terms of finances, but it's very, like, you know, frustrating for me. I still have 9k in the bank, so, like, I'm not totally, but I am trying to figure out about what's going on. So I'm blowing 50 gold here and there, and it's just, and I realize that's going to be actually a big problem. You know, not being able to. And so this is what I didn't know. I thought, right, you kill this, right? You kill the Zeppelin. If you kill the Zeppelin, the unit dies with it. That's what happens in a lot of other RTSs. And again, I'm wrong. That was my own arrogance for thinking that. However, he still loses another Zeppelin. That's very expensive in general. And I'm very happy with that. And it also removes his ability to run out of town. I actually think that's his last Zeppelin. And there is going to be a game of cat and mouse with this. Because I put a shade here. In case, you know, he decides to go around. Turns out, I was wrong. He's going to throw his flying machine there, which I could have just I could have completely ignored and just leave one of these. Where are they? One of these spider boys. Because as you see here, he gets another Zeppelin. So I either grab that or I grab his Zeppelin, and then, bam, he's now out another unit, or potentially 2 units in the long term of it. So yeah, he decides to throw in an invisible techie. I don't know much about what the techie does in general. I know, like, he deals a lot of damage to buildings. I think that's with his ultimate there, but that doesn't mean much to me in general. But, you know, he's apparently also stupidly fast, which is very frustrating as well. He also bought his staff teleportation, and he also bought invincibility, and he lost it. Now that is an insane amount of gold that he just lost. Yeah, that's an insane amount. That was actually the last of his economy. So gold coins from that alchemist, if I understand this game correctly, are now far more important, especially for buybacks or resurrections, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so I do the silly thing. And I just start targeting him down because he can still do that. I get the sleep off. Oh, that's actually fantastic. But he still uses the staff, the scroll of teleportation, which is fine. But now I get an additional Zeppelin, so I don't care. That's still a big victory. That's a huge victory out of it. Because he doesn't have a TP. I don't think he has. He's now having to buy another Zeppelin. And I don't think he has. Oh no, he does have a Volt.
All parts accounted for.
But he now has to spend more money that he doesn't have, and we catch his flying machine. It's just better. Like this is like the best case scenario for us. So yeah, now we're back to the game of coin flicking and me denying the coin flicking, and he's just constantly doing these TP homes. I actually thought he had something on the map because I do know you can kind of be a little cutesy with it. With the teleportation, although I think that's Staff of Sanctuary. I don't know my game knowledge. Again, I just don't know it as well. Like this one. Like I said, I just don't know. But yeah, so he has the invulnerability on his plate, which is obviously going to be very important for him. Apparently he had another one. What? Oh, he must have gotten a coin flick off or something, I guess.
Player's forces are under
So
attack.
he's trying to find a way in. I'm constantly trying to just find ways of denying him, because the way I see it right now, I won. Like in the sense of he needs to find a way. Oh, that's because he got the mortar off. Okay. But yeah, the way I'm thinking it is, I've won in the sense that he cannot win. Like he cannot go over and take me out. Like go across, because if he gets catch, he loses, right? I think that's a fair assessment. However, he doesn't care. He really doesn't give a shit. We know this, or we're learning this. And I'm constantly just trying to find ways of chipping away at his towers as much as I can through Death and Decay. The area of effect is pretty generous, honestly. And that also forces some fights out of him that he really just cannot afford in general. What do I have up here? Oh, I have a Zeppelin. But yeah, so this is the part of the game where I really just didn't know how I should, not even want, or how I should go about this. And I realized I don't even need my army, like, at all here or here. I just need to have them back here and just have my heroes to do this dancing, like how in games like League of Legends you want to like dance with your opponents to try to get to get damage off on your opponent. And this is the unfortunate game that I now have to play for the next 2 hours. So yeah, this is a very frustrating. And now he's learning about all of my shadows. He's commenting on. So yeah, he's trying to figure out like how much money am I blowing away. I'm really at this point. I'll gladly admit I was beyond angry, like at this type of gameplay. Like this is, in my opinion, this is very. I don't even know how that got there. What? Well, apparently he decided to fight, and I killed something. I'm like 90% sure I killed something. No, I didn't. I just damaged a lot. Okay, but guys, he has no money. That's a big lie out of him. He has no money for anything. Gold coins are now worth platinum and diamonds together. So yeah, this is definitely the part of the game where I start asking Twitch chat for Twitch chat, Reddit, Discords, Grubby's Discord specifically. I know I went to and asked, and just saying like, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do here. He's looking to get my flying. He's looking to get my shades. I'm looking to take out his flying machines. I mean, I feel like I'm playing Zerg versus Terran, and the guy's going full mech, siege tank Goliath, and sitting in his little turtle, shell saying, "Come get me, bitch." And this is quite frankly that. So yeah, this is the part of the game where I just don't understand about how I'm supposed to. I'm just looking to get spells off as much as I can. As you saw, I got two Frost Novas off, and as I was healing him through, giving my shades on the side so I know exactly where he's landing. And I get a big catcher. He gets a coin off. I get that. I actually sleeped him as well, and that's in. And more importantly, amongst all of this, we killed him. I don't care about that, but we also got his potion of invulnerability. That is massive. He still has money, but that was a massive loss. He can't even afford that. I actually am starting to think, oh, he's selling things off. Oh, he sold items off to buy that back. Oh, that makes so much more sense, and that's so bad out of him. So yeah, this is the beginning of the end game, and unfortunately, because of the lack of information that you get, it is really the beginning of the mid game. Quite fucking literally. And so now it's just me trying to, I think this is the part where I actually start going on Reddit. I cooked dinner. I was like, I was kind of just living life at this point of trying to figure out what the hell to do. Because there's really not much that I can do. And I was curious if he actually had a plan, and this is when I kind of, was jokingly around. Because I knew this game was him intentionally wasting my time. And now we're just at the point, how much damage can I get off? I finally got a level 6 Dreadlord and started hailing Infernos. But I realized that's actually a bad idea because, he's getting XP off that. It's already bad that he has a level 10, coin flicker. And so yeah, it's such a dumb game. This is such a dumb game that I got myself involved in. Staff's teleportation, get his goddamn tinker out. This is where the whole scenario. And I'm asking him to please leave. Because it's very clear the game's over. And he's asking me to stay because, again, he's a very wholesome guy. He's not looking to waste my time. He's just asking me to stay. How nice. He's trying to find ways back in. I picked off Bird. And so now he's trying to find ways that he can. He's trying to find ways of how can he get more coins. Fortunately, he can't coin flick the Inferno since it's immune to magic. Thank God. And I'm just healing. Okay, yeah, I managed to heal my Lich a little too close for comfort, in my opinion. So yeah, he's trying to find what can he do. He's trying to. He's eventually going to try baiting me out for. To get coins off. This whole game is just a nightmare. And I'm making the mistake of keeping all my units bundled in a ball, but it does manage to pick off 2 units out of him. He gets more coins to repair his Fortress of Solitude. So, trading off units where I can, Death and Decay, and getting a coin off. Yep, more coins, because I'm making the mistake of being too close. This whole game has just been like this. That's the sad part about this whole thing. This whole experience is just, it's just cancer. It really is. This is like the actual definition of chemotherapy. A very slow and painful experience that you don't want to deal with. Ugh. So yeah, I did realize because of the vision you lose during the nighttime, I have to keep my shades back because he can just be invisible and get the coin off pretty quickly with units to assist him, as you see there. But yeah, I actually didn't know about the flying machines giving you true vision, so that was something I was learning very quickly as this game was going on as well. That I really need to target the flying machines. I don't care about any of the other units. The flying machines have to go. The true vision is just too much to worry about. And then I know if I get those, then I can put my shades here and here and be very happy until I see flares going off. Oh, that's actually a big pick out of me. I get the flare. He gets a coin off. I kill a dragon hawk rider. Like this is honestly the most of the end game. It's a game of who's more patient, and apparently I just hate myself. Like this is the actual definition of like self-hatred. And he's trying to find like little picks off here and there, and you know, he gets a shade off, and I catch him retreating. So once again, this is where I'm going to learn about just leaving some units here to catch anything off, because he's clearly looking to make a landing or to have a opening to be a guerrilla fighter. So as you can see here, he's just flying around trying to find my shades where he can. Unfortunately, he lost another flying machine, which is more important. The more flying, he's down to I think just the one machine, right? Yeah, just the one machine, which is obviously outlandishly important for him, because the flying machine is the only thing that protects him from his invisible alchemist from being completely useless in terms of a cross the pond. And there we go, finally captured it. But he does get another coin off, and I think purchasing more flying machines, because science. Money and science, bitches. So yeah, fortunately for me, shades far cheaper than flying machines, so I can live with that. And he's just again trying to find more and more options, but I feel very confident there. I know he has flares, but the flares are just not as reliable, or they're not as useful, or I guess he thinks they're less useful than the flying machines, although I think they are actually more important in this particular match. I managed to get a fat, that's actually huge, three of his units going down there like that from the Death and Decay and the other spell casts. Holy moly, that's so important. So yeah, he doesn't have much left. Like, that's actually really important for me to understand. I get a fat sleep off. He has no money in the bank, but I still have 5 grand. But it's at the point where I can have as much money as I have enough money where, you know, bases aren't important at all. And I'm starting to sell my buildings to afford more crap, since I don't have the coin flicker.
A player's forces are under attack.
And I'm just getting more spells casting off as much as I can, because I know if I keep taxing his mana, even though it recharges quickly, he's not gonna feel comfortable hanging out in front. You know, I think that's more of my own confidence I need, like, you know, giving myself self-confidence in the match that, you know, I'm in a decent spot. I'm not the loser here, or I'm not the match, losing the match in particular. So yeah, I am actually wasting a lot of gold with my the 50 gold observation fee. I actually think I should have like turned it off for myself. Like, there's no need for me to have it there. He's looking to get a coin flick off, and then he just teleports out, which is very frustrating, and it brings a new set of problems. I think in this particular instance, if I'm going to get coin, if he's going to flick his gold coin at me, I should just silence the mage so that he can't use the staff, the sanctuary. But I don't know. That's still a lot, because you can still interrupt that. Like I said, there's just so much that you could do about this, but it does give him more gold once again. To purchase, I guess, another Zeppelin somehow. I don't even know when he got that. Obviously, there's just so much going on that you just don't keep track. I had a fat stun off on him again. That's only 50 damage, and as I learned later on in the match, and I realized, oh, that's not a great use. I killed this simply thinking it would get, you know, I killed it thinking it was going to cause the same problem getting a coin flicked onto him, but I now know that doesn't happen. Thank God. But it's just a lot of, this is like the part of the game where it's constantly just trying to figure out about what do I need to do. I keep my units back, and I'm just constantly putting him back to sleep since I need to beat him up. He does get another gold coin off. Again, that's frustrating, but at the same time, yeah, this is kind of a point in the game where that's less of an issue, and it's more of how can I just get him out. I don't know what he's buying. He's not buying anything with it. I make a bigger mistake about buying more gold, more dragons. I don't need them at all, and they're actually a big waste. And this is where I got confused about the Staff of Silence, since it didn't go off like I thought it would, and I lose half my dragons. Yep, exactly. Dragons are not really good. The wyverns aren't exactly favorable here. So yeah, this is he's building more towers. He just doesn't want me to play the game. So yeah, he's just flicking those gold coins, brother. Oh, there's another flying machine. Wonderful. This is very frustrating. I killed the what's it called, which is very important actually. I killed his Zeppelin again. I think we're up to like 6 or 7 Zeppelins or so, but he's trying to buy another one. It looks like, I guess. I just don't know anymore. I got very lucky there. There's nothing in it, I don't think. Yeah, no, there isn't. That's very fortunate. But yeah, so this. I think if I had him now, then I was definitely asking for assistance again on all the resources I could think of, because this is just so. This is like one of those games where you just say, "This is so stupid." Like I don't know why people find this fun. I'm not having fun with this at all, and I, as the player that played technically better, shouldn't be punished or having to endure with this this toxic behavior, even though this is a potentially winning strategy. But yeah, so I'm not 100% sure about that, and there's not much you can do about it, since there's a lot of problems if you try to correct it about game balancing wise. But yeah, so it's. So yeah, it's just more coin flicking. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, because we're just not gonna get to anything important, it feels like, especially if it's just gonna be him sitting back doing nothing and me trying to figure out how do I deal with this. And I'm constantly gonna be trading some of his units out here and there where I can, wherever I can, because again, this is just such a stupid experience that I don't think anybody should have to deal with. So yeah, he's trying to bait me out. It's very clear. Like, you know, he wants to get me to take unfavorable trades, and I'm constantly taking out his flying machines. So this is very nice of me, or this is very fortunate of me. So yeah, we're at, and again, we're just at. This feels like an actual stalemate, even though it's not, but my lack of experience again is just very much showing about how to deal with this. Yeah, and I'm learning very well that dragons are not good against Dragonhawk Riders. I'm assuming it's because they drive them or so. But yeah, this is a difficult game. This is without a doubt one of the most difficult games I've ever played in my gaming career, including with like StarCraft, StarCraft 2, League of Legends in general, because, you know, this is a self-inflicted problem. And as you can see here, I finally realized I can just keep my army back and hammer away at him without getting a coin getting tossed by his stupid little gold coin. And I can't wait for people to yell at me about that comment. So, yeah. So I was trying to have a little bit of small talk at this point again, because there's just so much nothing going on. And I'm picking off units here and there. He's down to 2 mortars. He's not really able to fight properly. I'm using any ability that I can. So yeah. It seems like he's just looking to. It really honestly feels like that he's just looking to waste the opponent's time so much that they would quit. But I'm probably very wrong about that, and there's some strategic value out of this that is not quite like this, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm looking to just take out his towers as much as I can through Death and Decay. But again, I really could have just done this so much sooner with like anything else at all. Quite frankly, this whole game is just one big bunch of mistakes going on. I mean, well, he was being honest here. So he's telling me that he can only defend, even though like he knows he can't win, right? Like he knows he can't win. And I'm asking him how does he won? You know, in the sense of like what is he? He achieved his gold. Or his goal. Carried out his plan. And I'm asking if that was his plan of wasting my time, and it is what it is, which is the most... yeah, so to waste... So I'm asking him if he just wants to leave then, to save us the last half hour of our lives that we have to endure with this. And now he's being a little... actually, quite frankly, patronizing me. Saying, "Oh, you did good there, kid." So yeah, this is the this is frustrating. I think I get to the point where I just figured I might as well max out. Yeah. Oh, we killed his alchemist there. He actually blundered. He was... I don't know if it was actually him at his bed or whatever, but that was definitely a blunder out of him. So I was stupid enough to make more dragons because I'm really just dumb apparently. Sure, I woke him up, and so I realized I need to just get everybody across. Everybody get in the boat. Everybody needs to just get on the goddamn boat, and we're just gonna go in. And now, ladies and gentlemen, after 4 hours, we have finally made it. Say hello to YouTube, boys. We are marching on in very poorly. I'm walking on in very badly. Not using my my meat wagons adequately. Slowly and surely griefing my own army by not actually using my wagons all correctly. I think I leave some. Yeah, I left one at home. But we are making our way downtown, slowly and surely, beginning the push that ends all fights. And I'm gonna let you guys know he's not AFK. He's not AFK at all. I do use Death and Decay. You see, he's microwing his mortar team. I actually use Army of the Dead to just get the pushover. Apparently, they don't get attacked by towers. I don't know if that's his own choice or if it's something about the AI. I just don't know. But I am slowly and crawling my way into his house. And I really, really hate this man. Yeah, there we go. He's finally coming in for the push. So yeah, I'm finally here. He decides to attack with his Tinker. Tinker's getting absolutely nuked. He sold his Staff of Sanctuary. I guess he was trying to get money for his alchemist, but didn't. Oh no! I want to see. No, he just didn't have money, I guess. Okay. So yeah, the game's is beginning to come to an end, but this was honestly not the best use of my 4 hours of my life. I even cooked dinner at this point. This is how bad the game got. And so yeah, I was just waiting for him to push forward as he did here, and now the game is beginning to end. I hope. I just wanted to leave. I wanted to go to bed. I did not want to ever play this game after this. This is the exact experience of why players hate RTSs. Because of this stupidity and this very toxic behavior. But I think it's also just my own stupidity. Yeah, we are finally here. So yeah. And the worst part about this whole thing is this guy is making me kill every single building, which is very, very insulting. In all forms of its definition. It's just, this is very annoying. And I even had to sell some of my buildings so I can buy more. Meat wagons to get this over with. This is just such an absolute waste of time. Warcraft is a fantastic game. I love it, but this and all other aspects of RTSs is why people hate them. The barrier to entry is so high, and then you have absolute asses like this. And there's still asses in FPSs, like in Counter-Strike with Smurfs. But it feels way worse in 1v1 games than team games. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a nice day.